We're about to start. All right. Dave Jones has been called a loser, amazing geek, white, smart, weirdo, genius, apple, proud, snob, intellectual, degenerate, and many other names during his life. And some said, you think you're so good. And he is so good. Now Dave is an inspiration for people who want to reinvent their history and create new stereotypes for their family, themselves, for their culture, and ultimately the world. He likes to demonstrate the new, healthier stereotype for the world, and it leads to amazing things. Love, laughter, and more of everything. Are you ready to be more and to do more? All right, let's go. Dave opened Turtle Concepts in 1999, and he continues on his journey to stay happy, to stay successful, to stay motivated, to stay healthy, and most of all, to stay confident. Please make some noise and welcome Dave Jones.
Hey, people. Hey, everybody. Welcome here to London, Ontario. I am the host today for the big day for the First Nations Center here at Fanshawe College. I want you all to stand up with me first. We're going to get you stretching and moving. So all you have to do is copy. We're looking for the most motivated, the most confident, the most energetic. I will give a reward after, and it might look like money. So everybody, all you have to do is copy. My teleprompters will get you to come and stand on the stage so they know to move and make noise. Let's get that turned up, please, there, DJ. And all you have to do is copy. We're going to start with breathing, everyone. So let's breathe in. Hold it. Let it out. Fill it out. Hold it. Let it out. Take it this way. Take it this way. Take it this way. Take it this way. All right, I need you to do some shoulder rolls forward with a little bit of hip. Just a little bit. Not too much. Not too much. Good. All right, take it backward. Good job, everybody. Put this up, up. Squeeze and say, oh. Up, up. Squeeze and say, ooh. All right, hands on hips. It's my favorite. Put those around in a circle. It's time to heal. Put those in a circle. Good job. Opposite way. Grab a little support. Don't be doing that. All right, stretch to the side. Stretch to the opposite side. Take a step forward. Good, punch it out. Punch it up. Punch it around. Good job. Tell the person on the right, hey, you're kind of hot right now. Hey, you're kind of hot right now. And tell the person on the left, you're pretty hot yourself. You're pretty hot yourself. Good job. Have a seat, please. All right, I'm very excited to be here. I'm David Jones of the Garden River First Nation. That's about 7 lip points. I don't know where the north is, but it's maybe that way. I am born, bred, raised on my reserve of Garden River First Nation. I'm of the Loon clan, and I act like my clan. And for those of you who are understanding what clans are, it's an identification system back in the day where we all knew who we were and what we associated with. And it also helped you not to sleep with your cousins. So, if there's any Loons out there, this is your chance. You should make extra noise. Get those applause-meters up. Any Loon clan people out there? Oh, so I can date all of your grandparents. Cool. All right. So I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a great day. Let's give some big noise for Fanshawe College for hosting us here this morning. Give some noise. Louder. And then let's make extra noise for the First Nations Indigenous Center. Make extra noise for that. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I saw a young person. She was yawning. Goodness gracious, sweetheart, look at her. Poor little thing, just tired, had a hard day, right? Probably on Snapchat all night, TikTok this morning, Instagram, and then Facebook. I know it's exhausting. It's so exhausting. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about me before I bring up my first guest. I met these ladies last night, and they were pretty wild. And they have a lot of good stuff to share. Then I met a young man today, and he's pretty wild. And then I know another man, I've known him for years. I've actually even slept with him a couple of times. And then I also have a cousin here. So it's going to be an interesting day for some of you. And we're just here to inspire you, to make you look at things, maybe to reconsider your life, and to keep you in this good journey. But I got to tell you a little bit about me first. So I am a blonde Ojibwe. I choose to dye my hair blonde because I think I'm rocking it right now. It was dark in the day, longer in the day, and now it's lighter in the day. And God only knows that it's going to be the next day. But I want you to know something that I like to promote to the communities where I visit. And my organization is called Turtle Concepts. It's based out of Garden River First Nation. I opened it back in 1999, and I'm a former school teacher, so that's what makes me a little bit easier to do this public speaking shtick that I'm doing today. I was raised on the res. My mom was a teen mom. My dad was not a teen, but he was a little bit older than her, and we had an amazing life. And my mom simply told me that you can do anything. So when I asked her, can Ojibways be famous? She says, of course. Then she said, can Ojibways be on a magazine? She said, of course. Then I said, Mom, can Ojibways dye their hair blonde? Of course. So I grew up in an amazing home where you got to do amazing things and be your real self. And what I'm going to be doing with you today is promoting some of that and then getting into the minds, into the hearts, and gosh knows where else with these guests who are here. And there's some who are accountants, some who are models, some who are public relations, some in human resources. They have opportunities for you, even I heard. So I want to encourage something for you that I think is amazing, and that's understand what the word confidence is, and understand what confidence looks like, and understands how confidence acts. But more importantly, understand how to respond to confidence. And whenever you see someone of Indigenous ancestry, based on the journey that our people have been in, our ancestors, you should always do these kinds of things out loud. Because when I grew up, and I'm 55 years old, you didn't see a lot of confidence. You saw a lot of heartache. You saw people who were shy, and perhaps it was residential school. Perhaps it was from history, perhaps it was from governmental things, but today you are all gathered here to remind yourself how amazing we are and that we're on the map. So let's hear it. You're on the map, finally. And the best part about being on the map is it's our stories, our truth, our ways, our stuff finally from us. So you don't have to Google somebody else and say, this is what I heard, this is what I saw when I went there. It's like I'm live on the scene and going to see what I'm going to hear today. We have mics set up if you have questions for guests. So it's going to be amazing to see what you are going to do for me when I get old. And maybe you'll see me in the old home house and you'll grab my teeth when I can't find them. Maybe some of you will change my diaper. Maybe some of you will put clothes on me. Maybe some of you will remember who my family is in case I forget who I am. So this is going to be such an amazing day to remind you of all the many careers that Fanshawe has to offer, and then all the support systems that are there as well. So raise your hand if you're excited to be away from your home school. Raise if you're glad you're not having to do homework. But there is one little bit of homework that I need you to do, and it's called gossip. So I know you guys have social media. Back in the day, my mom, as a teen mom, she said, remind those kids, she said today, that we had laptops. And my mom had 4 laptops when we were babies. There was Cheryl was a laptop, I was a laptop, Bunny was a laptop, and Daniel was a laptop. And we sat on her lap all the time. And then she said, tell those damn kids, she said, because they think they have everything and they're so entitled and they're lazy and all that stuff. She says, tell them we even had Bluetooth before they had Bluetooth, but it was from blueberries. So you guys know what blueberries are? Some of you are like, I think I seen them on my screen one time. Yes. They're a little fruit, and just so you know, blueberries are equivalent, according to some medicine man, to Viagra. So some of you are like, oh, cool, and I know the chaperone, this one right here, is like, oh my gosh, Viagra, put that down. So there's cool things to be learned in Indigenous country nowadays, whether it's ceremony, whether it's music, whether it's arts, whether it's confidence, whether it's anything, and we're really hoping that you guys will get some of that going today. I want to know which area is here. So is there anybody here from Beale? Anybody here from Beale? You can be proud. Put your hands up there like, I don't know, do we tell people? Put your hand up if you're from Beale. All right, is there anybody here from Saunders? Yes. Is there anybody here from Sarnia? Okay, we got to work on Sarnia a little bit. Is there anybody here from another school? Anybody here from Sioux Lookout, Pelican Falls? And I got to talk to you about that. Can I get all my Pelicans to stand up for a minute? Pelicans, stand up and take a look at the crowd. These guys come from the bush. Look at them. And I have seen lots of bush in my time, so you guys are now getting to see some of the pelican bush that I get to go visit at times. So pelican, have a seat. These guys come from the Sioux Lookout territory, but they actually don't come from Sioux Lookout territory. They come from even further than that. They're from the bush way up north, so we might have maybe Waterman Lake. I know Sachago is here. What are some of the other communities represented here? Where are you from? Deer Lake, and you know what? That's not even called Deer Lake because there's no deer there. I was just in Sioux Lookout. Nobody from Deer Lake has seen a deer, so it's now got a name change. It's called No Deer Lake First Nation, just so you know. Somebody else, where are you from? Where are you from? Bearskin Lake, and there's bears up there, and they're skinning them to keep warm. Yes, so that's a fact. Somebody else, where are you from? With the flowers, where are you from? Yes, that's you. You're wearing the flowers there. Where are you from? Where? Deer Lake, No Deer Lake. Okay, and how about you? Kiwewin, cool. So these guys are here from the north. I would love for you guys to make them feel extra welcome. At lunch, go and approach them. They're some of the people who do that good, and today they're going to be doing, hey baby, talk to me. So if you're out there and you want to get something new on your Tinder, swipe right, they're right here, come on over and meet them up. And I guarantee you, none of them will be your cousins. I know for a fact. Oh, we have one that might have a cousin over here. Oh, so yeah, but you migrated down. You're one of those fancy Indians that left the bush, and now look at you all styled up. So, yes. But we're excited. We're going to have some good times. It's going to be interesting. One of my cousins said that she's probably going to cry, so I got 3 boxes of Kleenex for you, Alicia. There's 3 boxes of Kleenex here, one for me, one for you, and then one for the audience. It's extra absorbent, so if anybody's going to cry with us, because we might even go there today. We might talk about this journey, and there's so many good things happening, but there's also people who are troubled. And we have to talk about that. So raise your hand if you're aware of the word mental health. Awesome. Raise your hand if you're of the word suicide. Raise your hand if you hear the word discrimination. Raise your hand if you hear the word bullying. Raise your hand if you're aware of the LGBTQ, TP, SP, extra. And I want to talk to you about that because I'm old. I'm not as old as my mom and them, but our elders, they're so willing to listen to you right now. They want to know what you want. They want to know how to help. And they also are trying to learn how to be more confident. And I think that's something that you guys need to know. So whether you're changing my diaper, whether you're finding my teeth, or if it's with your own family, try to do things in the most loving way. And my challenge will be to you, we need to be more of that. We need to smile more, especially this section over here in the middle. So if you could start just there, that's better. Yes, we need to hug more. We need to laugh more. We need to connect more. We need to do everything with the word more on the end, because there's some people, and maybe they're here in our house even, there's some people who are struggling, you can't tell. And we might find that out today about some of our panel people who are going to speak and share of their personal lives. So don't be afraid to connect. And the best part about it, when you go to college or university, or you go to anything new that you're not maybe comfortable with, there's so many support systems available to you now. And here at the First Nations Center at Fanshawe College, there's amazing support systems. We're going to bring out some of their staff later so that you can meet them and they'll share with you. And maybe you will be one of those people who meets them and connects and gets a job, and maybe you'll replace them. So always remember this, based on what my mom said: everyone starts somewhere. And some of us are just beginning the journey to be amazing, and some of us are in the middle of our journey to be amazing, and we're already doing well. And then there's some of us who are in the advanced category. Some people say to me, oh, I think you're in the advanced category. I just think I'm moving, and I think that's important for you all to know. It's important to move, especially to move in a good direction. Sometimes when you have strife in your life or challenge, you'll have to move sideways and let other people go past you. Sometimes you will even move backward because you don't know how to handle it. Sometimes you will jump up and down and rant and rave because you're so angry, but other times you'll jump up and down with the same style of physical behavior, and you'll be like, woo, yeah, look at me. So that's my message to you this morning before we bring out our first guest. I met this lovely lady last night. She's really cute. She took a long time to get here from Toronto. She's quite celebrated in her work. She even won an award, she said. She travels the globe. She's just a really, really cool person. And I was able to teach her something, because a lot of people don't look at me and give me that I'm Indigenous, but I was born, bred, raised on the reserve. I know my language, I know my culture, and I don't want to look like Geronimo. I like the way the Creator gave this. And if you know Geronimo, he's even called and asked if he can see my stylus because he wants to put a couple highlights in. So he wants an ombre look right now. And Pocahontas, well, we've glued a branch under her moccasins and she bumped it up and she said, just shorten it for a moment. Because she's trying to get in the club because she likes Drake and she likes that Cardi B and all that stuff. So I want you to know something that I promote is that we are evolving at an alarming rate. It's not wrong, but you need to know where you come from. And I know where I come from, but I'm more excited about where I'm going. And I think that's something that you guys should hear every now and then from an old person because it's important. When I go to Sweats, I don't act any different because this is my true, real self. And we have to make being your true, real self the best. So if I was in ceremony, I will introduce myself in my language so you'll understand. I'm excited about being Indigenous. I love being Anishinaabe. I know where I come from. I know where I'm living. My house is on the res. My organization gets to help. So this is how I do it. And be mindful, I guess, that some people never seen that before. And maybe you've not seen that before, but it's not wrong to be excited. It's not wrong to be yourself. It's not wrong to have energy because all the little ones around you want to be like someone. And they look up to you and they think, can I be like that? Can I be like that? And when our first guest comes out, you might find a moment of inspiration, say, I want to be like her. And maybe she'll have opportunities for you in programs that the organization she works for can give you the chance. So here's my ceremonial introduction, but it's not done in ceremony style like some people do. It's done by me, because this is about me. Bonjour, David Jones, Nishnakaz, Kitaganzi, Bidon, Jabam, Mongdo, Dem, Nishnaben, and Endao. I'm David Jones of the Loon Clan from the Garden River First Nation. I'm proud Anishinaabe, and I'm so excited to be here with you. I get to meet crazy people. Let's bring on my first guest, Chris. Come on up. Here she comes. It's Miss Abatoswe. Make some noise for her. Come on up. Come on. Looking real pretty. Look at her. Awesome. Hey. Come on up. So how's it going? Good. Look at her. Let me see this though. Look at that. Where'd you get that? Vancouver. So you've been to Vancouver?
Been to Vancouver.
Stop it. How did you get to Vancouver?
I walked.
You walked to Vancouver. Wow. She's true Anishinaabe. So tell us who you are, because they're wondering who you are. You look famous, you look big, you look at that smile. Yeah, so tell us a little bit of who you are.
So Ani Bojo, Chris Levitaswe, Nishnakaz, Anda Kamikaning Benjaba, Mikisini Didem, Anishinaabe Kwe and Dow. I come from Northern Ontario. Both my parents.
Woo! Anybody else from Northern Ontario? Come on, Pelicans, make noise. Make noise.
I'm not that north, though. I'm not that north.
Not that north, yes.
Anyone from Manitoulin Islands?
Manitoulin Island. Anybody Manitoulin Island?
Yeah, awesome.
All right, we got a couple, yes.
So my dad's from AOK on Deccan and my mom's from Chippewas and Indigenous First Nations, which is Rama.
Rama, cool. Yeah, I was just there actually. I went to the casino. I didn't gamble, but I went there and did some work. So,
yeah, nice.
where were you raised mostly?
Probably a little city outside of Rama. It's called Aurelia for anyone that's kind of in this area. But like,
so you're like a city mouse / res mouse on the weekends, maybe?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you ever get stuck on the res for a long time?
Totally.
Yeah? And how was that? Pretty good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was hard because my dad's from Manitoulin and my mom's from Rama, so like they're both Anishinaabe, but like even though we were Indigenous, we obviously were registered to a different First Nation.
Right, yeah.
So like we're kind of, whenever we go to like res parties, we'd be like Shoganash, like my sister, but I'm like...
For the Oneida people who are unaware, Shoganash means person of white color. All right? So I'm not sure how you say that in Oneida. Is there any Oneida speakers here that can tell us how to say white person? Anybody? Yes. Luxiludi? Lock City? Say it a little bit louder. Loxaludi.
Loxluni.
Yes, there's a lot of loony white people, yes, for sure. Lots of loonies. So we'll say today the new word for Oneida for non-native is lots of loonies. So you must have met a lot of loonies in your time then, right?
For sure.
And how did that feel growing up? Because you knew you were Indigenous, and then you have, sometimes our people do that, right? When you don't live on the res and you live on the res, but sometimes there's no housing on the res to even house us, right?
Sure,
and I get to travel the globe and see people. So you lived in the town.
Yeah.
Were you put down in the town for not being Indian enough and then white enough, and you know how they talk about all those things all the time. So how was it for you?
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because a lot of the people from Rama, we go to like the white school, like the Catholic school, and we all knew we were like native, but no one we never talked to each other until like we graduated, which is kind of weird. But it was predominantly like a white high school, so there's like no diversity. So yeah, you could totally tell like who the brown ones
And now
were.
it's such a big thing to talk diversity, and I know you do a lot of that in your workplace. So did you want to tell them what you do? Because you sound like a big ticket. You're pretty amazing. You guys will want to get a business card or something, right? I want one. So tell them a little bit about what you do for work.
Yeah, totally. So
and wait, tell them about the big award. You've just won an award, you said, and this is someone that you guys get to meet. This is a Anishinaabe from the island, and someone from Rama. She's gone through a journey, which we'll get to. She won this award, and it's the second time.
Yeah.
So tell them, I'm so excited. Get those signs ready. This is amazing. Tell them about this award.
Okay. So I work for a bank, and so if you're nominated to be like a top performer at the bank, they fly you away like on a trip. So I won it this year, so I get to go to Washington, D.C. for a few days.
Woo! Yeah! So you're a top performer. Now, I know we talked about that last night while having some soda water and popcorn and stuff. So what kind of performances do you do?
Yeah, well, not performances.
Well, you said you were the top performer.
I know, but that's like just doing work. Like working.
Okay. All right. So I was all set to see one of your performances, but tell us how you perform at work then.
Yeah. So I convinced the bank to let me do a really cool job. So essentially, I get to go to First Nations communities, colleges, universities.
All expenses paid.
All expenses paid.
Living the life.
Living the life, and just so my job actually is to hire Indigenous people across the country to work for TD Bank.
Did you hear that? Job opportunities in a bank. Go ahead.
You all have a job. You have a job.
You have a job.
And one thing I want to say, like preface, is I turned down my first banking job because I am horrible at math. Horrible.
Let's try it. What's basic plus basic?
What?
That's 1 plus 1?
2.
And what's niche plus niche? Niche is 2.
4.
Yeah, she's doing good. You're not too bad with numbers.
That's it though.
That's it. Okay, well, yeah.
Like so if I can do it, you can do it, I swear. Like I'm horrible. And so when a recruiter called me, I was like, because I applied to like...
Is that like a sorcerer, a recruiter?
kind of.
We have a sorcerer coming up soon, so you'll understand the joke a bit later. But so this recruiter...
Yeah, so my first year of my undergrad, I applied to something, it was called like an Indigenous scholarship program. So I wanted obviously to get bursaries and scholarships for school. So I applied to it, and at the very end of that application, there was a question that said, do you want to work at one of our branches full time? And I said, sure, why not? Not thinking that I would, but I thought that it would help me get the scholarship. I'm like, yeah, I'll work for you guys, no problem. And then when they called me, I was like, oh no, you don't want me. Like, I'm horrible at math.
That's not what you say when you go for an interview when they call you.
I know.
I will help you guys with that. Whenever someone says, do you want a job, tell us what you always say, everything amazing.
Yeah.
Everything, even how you cut your toenails, just throw it out there. They will hire you. So why did you do that?
I didn't have the confidence back then.
Stop
and I was 18,
it, look at you.
I was 18, I was like, and I really thought that...
Look, like what do you mean? Like just in physicalities alone.
Thank you.
Look at your great personality.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so I was turning it down. I'm like, this isn't for me. I was taking accounting in my first year of my undergrad and actually like failing it. And I'm like, this is just not a good opportunity for me, not a good fit. And then she's like, well, let's talk about that. And, without boring you with the details, banking is not what it used to be. So like 10 years ago, yeah, you'd have to count cash and you'd have to be a little bit good with calculations. But
they probably don't even know what that is when you say cash. They're like, is that like tap? Is that like debit? Like, do you guys know what cash is?
I do.
Anybody, raise your hand if you know what cash is. All right, I'm going to do a test right now because it's important to be able to count. I'm going to get this young person from Dryden. Come up real quick, faster. You're moving like a gookum, faster. Come quick. So I want to try adding because she's a bank person and it's important to understand cash and all this stuff. So if I have a nickel and I give you a dime, then your grandma gives you a quarter and grandpa throws you a loonie and then I give you an extra toonie, what do you end up with?
I have no idea.
335? It's pretty close. Anybody want to add that on their machine and see? Because you're all like, I can't even keep up. Any old school teachers know how to add back there? A toonie and a loonie and a quarter and a dime and a nickel? You're correct. That's right. That's how much you'd end up with. Good for him. So you should hire him. Sit down. Get up here. Sit down. We'll get you a job. Sit down. Come. Hurry up. Just sit down and listen to her. Pretend you're interested, like on the edge of your couch like this, and look right at her as she continues to talk. First, tell her your name. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hi.
What is your name? Kelly Kakagamic. That's real, eh? That Kakagamic, that's as Indigenous as it gets.
Yeah.
Her name too. Her name is Indigenous. Abataswe, mine, Jones. But you know why? Because the Indian agent didn't know how to spell my real name. My real name is Bigzonkwe. He was like, you know, Jones, next. So I'm glad you guys have your real and truthful name. So tell us more about you and that bank situation, how you got this job, because he's going to get a job.
You're going to get a job for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, the rest is really history, but essentially, they're like, the machine does it now. So all, like, practically, if you like customer service, if you like working with people, then this is the job for you, and I took the job.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that? You're really bad with numbers, aren't you?
Yeah.
Were
Like
you
10 years ago?
Oh my gosh. Well, how old are you anyways, if you don't mind?
28.
And what is
I just turned 28.
28. And what is your status on Facebook? Single, looking?
Single as a Pringle.
Single as a Pringle, and there's a lot of Pringles in that can.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's another twist for you. So now, so he could be like you back in the day looking for a career. So was banking the natural choice you wanted to get to? Or where did you start off with career goals?
I was actually going to work at the casino.
Ah,
Because my
yeah.
grandma used to play blackjack. I'm like, that's where I'm going to, that's the job that I want.
Well, it's a start, right? A lot
Yeah.
of casino jobs are starts for people. Then they realize maybe they grow more confidence. They go on to education. And, you know, wherever you are in your educational journey, whether you're young or old, just know that education is a good thing. And sometimes it'll be on the land. Sometimes it'll be in the classroom. Sometimes it'll be on an iPad. Whatever you're doing in your educational journey is important. And that's why we're doing this today. So you were starting at the casino, thought that was going to be it, and retire, and et cetera. And what happened?
I guess the opportunity found me. And
What do you mean? What kind of opportunity? A bank?
The banking opportunity, because I don't have
So
any
like this
aunties.
opportunity right here, stay awake, pay attention.
Yeah, like I don't have any aunties or uncles that ever worked in the banking industry. Like I was so scared. I'm like, what do I wear? Like I had no idea, right?
This is natural style right here.
Thanks.
How much, because I think this young person, he told me he's from Dryden and we had met some time ago. How much confidence did you have as a teenager trying to figure out who you were and where you were going to get to?
None.
None, eh?
None, yeah.
I find that really hard to believe, meeting you last night and then today. You're such a spirited person. You seem very focused, very motivated. So you're fooling us, I think.
Yeah. I used to hate public speaking. Like I used to be so scared to do it. But then I realized that when you're uncomfortable is the only time you're actually really growing.
Right.
So even though I didn't like doing it, like whenever there was a chance to do public speaking or do, like presentations to the class, I'd put up my hand, not because I wanted to, but because I wanted to grow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've grown, obviously.
Yeah.
So this big award, you're going to Washington, D.C. I think I overheard you say you're even going on a trip with some old ladies next week or tonight.
Tonight, I'm going to Iceland.
You're going to Iceland?
Tonight, yeah.
Who the heck would want to go up to more cold and more north? Why are you going to Iceland for?
The Northern Lights.
Ah,
Northern Lights.
nice.
Yeah.
Now, some of our people, have you ever seen the Northern Lights before, anyone? Has anybody been up to Iceland yet? Get a job at the bank and you can go join her on the next business trip. So tell us about your job. What is your real job? Now you were with one bank, then you're at another bank, and you won the same award at the old bank. Like you're gonna win all the awards at all the banks if you keep going.
I might. But I like TD.
So tell us where you are now. What's going on?
Okay, so I essentially have, obviously banking, there's so many jobs, right? It's not just the branch network. We have wealth management, capital markets. Who's seen Wolf on Wall Street? Yeah. So that's
crazy show.
Yeah, so that actually is like a real thing that's happening on Bay Street in Toronto.
Yeah.
So there's like a securities team, which is kind of cool. And like, if you were to guess, just how much do you think our top performer made in wealth management? Just yell out like a number. How much do you think they made?
How much do you think they make in income? Nice and loud. A little bit louder. $1 million?
$1 million? 3.2 million.
3.2 million. Anybody else from this side? What? Give us an idea.
8.1.
8.1 million?
Yeah, and you guys are all young enough that you can go into that business.
Okay, how do we start?
Third and fourth year of your undergrad is where they do recruitment for that.
Wow.
And you know what? It's about relationship management. That's it. You don't have to know about numbers, stocks, securities. It's a relationship business. So if you like talking to people, you like going out for like nice dinners.
Do you like that stuff?
Yes.
Yes. But you also are committed to health, you said. And I think that's another thing that's important to discuss quickly is this idea. I know in my culture we call it Bamadzuin, but living the good life, being healthy-minded, healthy-hearted, etc. So did you get to work out this morning?
I didn't get to go to the gym this
What?
morning.
I was all excited at 5 o'clock. You said you were going to run 10K. What happened?
I know. So I run 5 to 7 kilometers a day. I used to run in high school, and then I kind of lost it while I was doing my undergrad with school. Got the freshman 15. You'll know what I mean, first year of school.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Are you guys aware of what freshman 15 is? It's where you automatically gain weight without even eating. You'll just gain weight.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, so you
I lost it. I lost my running. And then I used to do cross country and track, and I absolutely love running. I think like deep down, like I would always be like, oh, our ancestors used to be like hunters and gatherers, like naturally we run as people. So yeah, I picked it back up, and now I do half marathons and marathon training. So I really enjoy it.
Cool.
Keeps me out of trouble.
Okay, so if you had one tip, one bit of advice, one thing that you'd want them to remember you for today, what is one thing that you would like them to remember about you in terms of opportunity and, you know, because they're going to have a chance on the lunch break to talk to you before you leave. And but what is something that you think they need to know about the place where you're working? Yeah,
I think you guys need to know that you have to ask. If you don't ask, it won't happen. So many times when I was younger, like I wouldn't ask, like, you know, I want this opportunity, or, you know, I want a raise, or I want this job or that job, but you have to manifest everything that you want in this lifetime, and it starts with you knowing what you want. So it took me a long time, like years, to figure that out, but for you guys, if you can learn how to ask, you know, your teachers, the recruiters, the organizations you work in, anything, just manifest your own kind of life, and just don't forget that it starts with you asking for something, and then the universe will give it to you.
So I'll translate that right down to Res Talk. So be frickin' nosy.
Yeah.
Just be frickin' nosy.
Curious.
Old school. Just kill them to the point of like, what do you want to know now? What do you want to know? Just keep doing it, because look where you end up.
Yeah.
And you won this big award. Yes. And this guy, just for being nosy, you get this as well. There's a little gift for you. I don't know if it's the car or not, but we want to thank Crystal for coming. Stay here. We have a little gift for you. We have the president and the vice president of the First Nation Student Council. That is Doug and Shay Lee. They have a little gift for you. Our next guest is into physical fitness, health, and he knows numbers. So you get to the end of the couch while we bring out Scott Musso. Okay. Scott Musso, where are you? Come on down really quick, Scott.
Hi. Thank you. Hi.
Look at this, Scott. I brought something that you love. Here we go. This is Scott Musso, everyone. Come on up, Scott. Nice to have you. Hope you're queued up. You have your mic on there. Is it on? Can we hear Mike? Let's do another test. Are you there? Can you hear him? Say some more. A little bit extra. Maybe I have to get in closer to you.
Hello.
So, this is the volleyball. Is he on now?
No.
No, is yours on? Maybe your thing is not on. Mute, test, say hello.
How about now?
There you are. Okay. Are we good? So Scott, you're here, but you're here permanently, practically, almost, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Tell us about that. What do you do here?
So I actually am a manager of advancement services at Fanshawe College.
And in English, what does that mean?
I'm the accountant basically for
So you know
our
numbers.
fundraising. I know numbers, yeah.
Meet Crystal. Crystal, he can help you with your numbers. And she was quite excited when I told her that we had accountant man coming.
And why?
I'm going to hire him.
She's going to hire you, she said. But I also brought this because you're just as human as the next. You have experience in Thunder Bay and for Pelican Falls. They're like the sister school to where you used to work, I believe.
So I didn't work there,
You worked
but
there or you did something?
I actually coached at Dennis Franklin Camaraderie.
So you're into fitness like what Crystal is as well.
Yep, yep.
And you coach what?
Volleyball.
And where did you coach?
So all over. I actually coached several of the high schools in Thunder Bay. I coached and ran the club team in Thunder Bay, as well as Lakehead University, and I also acted as the guest coach for, whenever I came to Toronto, the guest coach for Team Canada.
Cool. Wow, so you're another person we need to know, right? Now, you mentioned that I read something in your bio about you might be coaching for the Indigenous Games again?
Yep, so I applied and I got accepted as the head coach for the U16 Team Ontario, Aboriginal Team Ontario.
Is there anybody in here that's a volleyball player? This is your time to schmooze and be nosy and make sure that you get in Scott's mind today. Or even get a picture or a selfie with him, then bug him on Instagram or something. So, volleyball, you were up in Thunder Bay, now you're doing accounting things here for the foundation. And what's the best part of your job?
I think I have a lot of diversity in my job.
Keyword coming up again, diversity. What does diversity mean to you?
A wide variety of things, really. So with my career, I don't only just do the accounting piece, but I do IT. So one of the projects I'm working on right now is actually developing a crowdfunding platform.
A what?
Crowdfunding.
That's so deep for me. I live on the res.
Have you heard
go shallow.
Kickstarter?
Kickstarter, sure, yeah.
Basically Fanshawe's version of Kickstarter.
Okay, cool. And what can we do for the students here today based on what you're doing in career, and what are some of the opportunities that they should explore to maybe get to where you are at?
Well, a lot of it is really just finding what you like and focusing on that, taking the steps to get an education. And
now, was numbers something you were always curious about?
I was always good with numbers, but the diversity of being a CPA, I went through the CPA program and got.
Tell them what CPA means, because there's so many acronyms nowadays.
So CPA is a Chartered Professional Accounting designation.
And are they making 8.1 million as well?
Not quite.
Not yet, eh?
We count
but if you get a new
million.
job, maybe I can get a bonus. So yeah.
Yeah. So cool. It does obviously make a little bit of money, but
and how long have you been here at Fanshawe for?
2.5 years.
And how's it going?
I think so. It's okay.
You loving it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And what do you think about this weather thing going on? There's some climate change stuff going on, eh?
Sucks.
What do you think about the snow and that came this week?
Well, this is kind of like nothing compared to what I'm used to.
To Thunder Bay, for
Yeah.
sure, right?
Yeah.
And where else have you traveled? Because I know she's a traveler. She's going to Washington for the award. She's going up to Iceland. Where have you traveled?
Nowhere really.
Nowhere yet.
No.
Do you want to? There's an opportunity right there.
Go work at a bank.
And what's your status on Tinder? Just kidding. So the best part of your job is coming in, good people.
Yeah.
How much did confidence play a part in your journey to be who you are today?
Quite a bit, actually. There was a point in time going through the CPA program that I actually struggled. And same as you, I hated public speaking. And
well, you're doing a good job today. So I would never know that you guys struggled based on your, willingness to participate today. Not else.
I think it's part of growing as you get older.
You think it's just a rite of passage that we struggle when we're young, or do you think it's just natural for some, or it's something we work upon?
I think it's a combination of all. I mean, I worked so hard to try to get to where I'm at, and it's really, I think a large part of it came from me coaching, and it really got me talking in smaller groups, talking to a lot of coaches and things like that. So
now you're from which First Nation? She's from Amdak Amnikaning, and she's also from Rama.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you from?
So in Thunder Bay, Fort William First Nation is my reserve.
Cool. Yeah, I know that. It's right below the big powwow hill there, eh?
Yeah, Mount McKay or Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, do you get up there very often?
Yeah, actually, I try to go up at least once a year, and
Cool.
I love visiting back home. And
Now, are you a powwow dancer by chance?
no, not even close.
Do you know the basic step, like the old 1, 2, 1, 2?
I'm not getting
How about
up to
you?
dance,
Did you ever
but
have regalia?
I did. Bingo.
Jingle! Oh my gosh, because we might have a song queued. How about you? Have you ever danced? What do you dance? Grass? Wow. So if I threw up a song, you guys could show them how proud you are, and this journey continues to challenge yourself, and you can like put it out there big time. I could do men's traditional, or I can do jingle too. I'll do it all. I'm working on jingle pants and a jingle vest because I'm a healer too, right? So I think this is time to rock it. I think we should, you guys want to see them do some traditional dancing here, even though they're big wigs? All right, let's all stand up. Come on. Let's stand. Come on, you can do it. You'll get an extra gift certificate if you do this, and she'll know that you're willing to take risks. This is important. Come on, Kakagamic. Make some noise for Kakagamic. Get him up here. All right, there's a song. It's a little bit funkier, so you got that basic, bend a little bit, More chest, more chest. Look, more stern. Where's our jingler? Where's our jingler? I'll help you. Come on. And our grass dancer, give a little tap. You can do it, come on. Good job, yeah. Make some noise for these people dancing up here. Good job. So, for both of you, I guess, and hopefully they can cue up, Crystal, this is such a big thing for people to explore careers. And you didn't want to go into the career that you're in, but you're loving it. You had sort of interest in numbers.
Yep.
What's one of the advices or one of the things or one of the tips that you think they need to know about this journey? Because many of them are young, just starting. Some of them know exactly where they're going, and some of them have no clue. So what's a tip that you would give to them in terms of getting started on career exploration?
I think part of it really is similar to what Chris had said. Just ask. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have gone through the same thing you guys are going through, and if you have some questions, don't be afraid to ask. It's we're all here because we've done the trip, we've gone through all of that. So if you're interested, we're not afraid to ask or answer. So.
And Crystal, yourself, what's a tip for them?
So I would say you guys need to don't knock it unless you've tried it, and stay connected to people that, so for instance, I want all of you to follow me on social media. If you guys ever need a job, and it doesn't need to be banking, I share jobs like in the non-for-profit sector, in healthcare, like any job, because like a lot of organizations are trying to hire Indigenous people, they just don't know where to find them. And again, it's about, there's a lot of entry-level programs to get you guys into health, wellness, non-for-profit, private sector, public sector, everywhere. Like essentially, whatever you guys want to do, you can do. Just make those, your network is the most important thing. So stay connected to me. I'm in HR, so I can help you guys like in the
I like
process.
that word, HR, another acronym. What does that mean?
Human resources.
And what does that mean?
Managing bodies, human resource, like the human, us, and then your resources.
And you do that?
I do that.
And it's fun?
It's a lot of fun.
And what's one of the basic tasks that you do in human resource management?
So you can hire people, you can fire people, you can, if there's like bullying in the workforce, harassment.
And then you can figure out how much they get paid when they have to leave or how much they're going to get in their bonus.
Yeah, all that stuff.
You guys would be a great team. Yeah.
So just honestly, don't knock unless you've tried it. And you could even if, you want to do something in healthcare, like a lot of organizations will help you get you set up to start. Right. So you can try anything you want at least once.
Well, and a lot of organizations even now are having employee assistance programs to help even with mental health and there's so many things going on in the world, as you're all aware, I'm sure. So real organizations are doing their best to support in any way possible, whether it's financial management or mental health or anything, correct?
There's actually new legislation that just came out this year for Indigenous people specifically. So if we need to take time out for ceremony, for hunting, your organization is now legally allowed to give you 5 days to do your hunting or your ceremonies, which we didn't have before. So it's a good time, yeah. It's a good time to be Indigenous.
Yeah, it is a really good time. I think you bring up a good point. So let's go over to our young person. I know you said, I met you up in the Dryden area, and you're down here, and I don't know if you can just clip them your thing just for a moment. So how is it for you coming from the north to here, and what are you doing down here? How the heck does someone from Dryden end up in London? What's going on?
Well, the reason why I'm down here was because of a bit too personal situation.
Yep.
I lived in an abusive home.
Okay.
So my sister was abused. She moved out when she turned 18.
Uh-huh.
and then the abuse went on me, and I'm like, I'm not having any of this. I'm calling the cops.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So then, I remember going, like, I missed an entire semester of high school.
Yes.
Because I'm moving around a lot in childcare now.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I landed myself in Frenchman's Head.
I know Frenchman's Head.
And they're like, yo, Kelly, would you like to go to London? And I'm like, I don't mind. And I got a lot more opportunities here.
Cool.
So then,
and you're in school here at Fanshawe, or at Fanshawe?
I'm a SWAC student.
At where?
SWAC students.
All right, cool. And do you have a career goal that you're working toward? Because right now you're sitting around.
I have two options right now. One is an animator.
Cool.
I've been doing freelance animation since 2015.
Awesome.
And I'm a business accounting.
Hello.
Which
Hello.
I've been taking
Hello.
4 years
You got
now.
your cell phone. You need to be doing some selfies here and adding them ASAP. Are you ready to add them? Are you confident enough to take the opportunity that she's giving to you right now?
An internship?
I would be doing that if I was you. Get your cell phone out, hand that back to her, get your cell phone out, do a selfie, add her on Instagram, and you could be working next year. You'll be coming back as her boss. And she's got another young lady that's coming up later who you've helped get the job, so you are living proof to what you do is give opportunities, correct? Why is it that you like to give opportunities? Well, what is it that motivates you to find other Indigenous people and give them these chances?
Well, we're all my relations. You're all my like sisters and brothers. So obviously, if I get you a job, like I'm gonna feel really good at the end of the day.
For sure,
right?
for sure.
And then I fight for you guys too. So like a lot of the time, you know, when you get into an organization, you know, you don't necessarily know kind of what the interview process is. I'm gonna walk you through it so you don't like have any surprises in terms of the questions you're gonna get. And then I help with negotiation of salary as well. As HR people, we work for the organization, but we also work for the people. My job is like, for anyone that I hire that's Anishinaabe, like I always want to help. So I'm like, you guys got to negotiate, you got to ask for the high tier, whatever your earnings could be, and what does that conversation look like? Because for me, like both my parents were unemployed and on disability. So I didn't do that, I didn't know how to. Yeah. So now that I got the experience, that's my way to pay it forward.
So you're living proof then to what I like to speak to in my sessions about, you know, reinventing the history of your family and then creating new stereotypes for the world to look at, because so many people still believe that we're all in a negative situation, but this is living proof that we are on the move, we're doing things our way, and people need to understand who we are and what we do, right?
Yeah. I want to be honest too, like it is a very colonized like society, like, you know, your university is very colonized, your workplaces are very colonized, but if you can like, you know, maneuver your way through that and then start to decolonize by like finding people, like for instance, like I work in the bank, Jade Lynn, who's coming up, works for the bank, you find your people in any organization you work in, and then that's where your home base is, right? So when like you're having a bad day at work, or like, you know, there's racism in the workplace, we can't protect everybody, but at least you have like your peers and, you know, your community that's gonna say like, you know, this happened to me, and like anyone that I hire, if there's any racism that happens, we have a zero tolerance rule. So I'm hiring an intern, and you know, like you let me know that like your hiring manager said X, Y, and Z to you because you're Native, like I'm gonna make sure that manager like gets in a lot of trouble, right? So it's just about knowing.
And how do you find that, being Anishinaabe, working in these colonized entities at times? Is it difficult? Is it easy? Is it getting better? Is it still quite challenging?
It's pretty challenging because no one really knows our lived experiences. Nobody gets it. And like, it can be frustrating when you don't have anyone to talk to. Especially like, you know, sometimes like for me, I feel like I'm surrounded by privilege all the time, right? And like, it took me, the gap for me to like get in was so hard, and like, it's difficult. But I mean, that's why you have to find your people wherever you work, and then, you know, just go from there, right? Because that's your support network.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Now, coming back to you, Scott, same idea as her. She mentioned there was some challenge growing up and she made it. So you as well, you've reinvented the history of maybe your people, your family, your area, whatever. And how's that been received by individuals? Are they celebrating that and very proud of you? What's the response to your happy, healthy, positive, confident choices?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was in a way told from a lot of people that I wasn't going to succeed or I wasn't going to do it without
Okay, wait
working.
now, like, I don't understand that. Who tells anybody you're not going to succeed, you're not going to make it?
It's actually kind of the whole bullying aspect of it. I mean,
you see,
there's a lot of other kids.
What I've discovered, Scott, is a lot of people, and this is a cautionary note to you all, especially under the category of mental health. Sometimes people are joking, and those jokes are not really serving a good purpose when you're struggling.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you were actually bullied, or was it a joke?
It was more bullied. I mean.
So someone actually said you were not going to make it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Raise your hand if you think that's a little bit messed up, that someone would tell a child or a young person that you're not going to make it. And that's the lesson for you all. You need to stop that. And I hear things about where people will say, people on Instagram or on social media, they'll say like, go kill yourself. You never say that to someone because you never know where they are and where they're coming to. And just meeting you as a 55-year-old Anishinaabe, I am so proud to meet you. I'm so excited what you get to do. That's what we're supposed to hope for. We're supposed to improve on the situation, allow you to be whatever you want, especially if it's safe, especially if it's healthy, especially if it's positive. So I'm sorry that someone said that to you, but I'm more excited that it didn't stop you.
No, it was more of a driver for me.
And sadly, it has to be that sometimes, right? Something negative has to be turned into a positive, but the drive that it takes personally to get there probably is really, really hard at times.
Yeah, it's very hard. And I mean, even going through school, I really had to work hard at it. I had to pay my own education. My band wasn't able to provide any funding or anything like that. So I worked nonstop throughout school, throughout the summer, saved up as much as I could to make sure that I could get my education.
So we really then have to acknowledge if and when your band approves you to go to school, it's really important to take that seriously. Otherwise, it's a different journey, and it can be very, very financially draining.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Now, you guys, are you still in school? Are you done school? Is there more coming?
So I just accepted to do my master's in
All
HR.
right, you got accepted to do her master's. Awesome. And what will it be in?
In HR.
HR, cool. And yourself?
I'm actually a graduate student now. I'm in the final semester of my MBA. My
Nice,
Master's of Business
awesome.
Administration.
And if there was final thoughts now, because we're near the end, and perhaps these guys will come and ask you individual questions, what's your final thought for young people today? Because I believe that our ancestors have changed the energy, they have changed the history, and it's our duty to keep improving upon that, but knowing where we come from. So what would be a final thought for them, whether it's in their personal journey or in their professional journey, that you think helped you?
I would just say don't be afraid. I think the biggest thing is you got to be willing to take risks. You got to be willing to even not be afraid to fail. I mean, there's a lot of times where things don't go perfectly fine or whatever. So you just, once it happens, be able to turn around and do what's best for you.
Cool, so it's sort of like what's happening with Kakigamic, came up, said a thought, now he gets deeper thoughts, connect, so don't be afraid to jump on the opportunity, because sometimes it might be the last opportunity for a long time.
Yep.
And you, Crystal, your last thought for them, what's something that they really need? Because I want them to approach you, and a lot of times when I go to these events, everybody's afraid to go to the guests, and you're just as human as the next. You will have toe jam if you don't wash between your toes, right? So they're just like you, and they're put up here to inspire you. So what is something that you want them to be able to come to you with?
Yeah. I'd say don't succumb to peer pressure. I'd say try to live a clean life, no drugs, no alcohol, because that's the colonized way to be involved in those things. Turn to ceremony, turn to your elders, turn to community. Try to live a clean life if you can, because it's the only way to live. I think as Indigenous people, we mainstream society with what they do. We sometimes, it's very social to go out and have drinks, but I don't think that's the way we should be living our lives. But it's not for me to say that, but just try to stay close to community, your elders, and ceremony, because I think it'll keep you on the right path.
Okay, and I think that's a good message for all of you to know that whatever is going to keep you in the best way is important, and you'll go through these different things in life where the journey will be crazy at times, it can be very calm. So don't be afraid to make the best journey for yourself. I want to thank our guests this morning, Scott and Christopher, coming and sharing a little bit. This is your chance, and I'm going to tell you, I would never be on the stage myself if I didn't come to these things as a kid and go over and be nosy. Then it led to the next opportunity. Then it led to the next opportunity. So when they ask of you to come, I beg of you to go. And if your friends aren't ready, remember, those that are just beginning, that's okay. But if you're ready to do and go and connect more, go right away and watch what happens. I also want to give a big shout out to Kakigamic. I forget the first name. Kelly, for coming up and just sitting there, because even that in front of a crowd to come up, you got a free gift certificate, you got extra connection. I will take a picture of you with selfie and bug you to connect deeper. You know, so I just want you to celebrate the confidence you had to come up on the show this morning, and I love the confidence that you're radiating here today. Kelly, you had a thought? Pardon? I didn't hear what he said.
I gotta fix you on something.
Oh, you'll fix me on something. Yeah, I think I know what you're fixing me on. Did you want to fix it here?
I'm not a boy.
Yes, okay, so you're not a boy. What are you?
Female.
Okay, so Kelly's a girl. And I have to tell you that because when we age, it's so hard nowadays because it's so different than what we were seeing. That colonization was this or that. And now it's everything. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about a little bit later on this afternoon is how do we make everything acceptable, especially if it's safe? So I apologize to you, Kelly. I'm excited to talk with you at lunch. We'll give you something extra from my company. You guys connect. Get out there and do what you do. And this is not even Tinder. This is swipe right and come on over and talk to them. You don't need to be on TikTok. You don't need to be on Facebook. You don't need to be on Instagram. I want you to talk old school like Gookum did and go over and bug them. And then follow us on our social media and tell us when you work for the bank or when you're getting something over here or when you make the volleyball team. Let's give a big hand for our guests here this morning. I believe we have a special gift here for you, Scott, from the president and the vice president. Here they come again. It's always nice when you go onto these things, and we're going to be looking maybe for some of you young people to come up and talk as well. So I hope you're having a good day so far. I believe the food is back there, correct, Daniel Kennedy?
Even if you don't.
Are we going row by row or? All right, we're going to go row by row so that you all can get yourselves something full. Be mindful, and I have to tell this to you in a comical way. I've been to so many communities guest speaking, and sometimes when you go there, people take all the food in the first part of the line. Remember, there's this group that needs to eat as well. So be mindful, maybe one person, if there's extra, get two later. Just make sure that you save some for the rest. So you're allowed 2 half sandwiches, only 1 chip from the bag, and you're allowed 1 sip of the drink and leave the sip for the next person. All right, enjoy your lunch. We'll see you after lunch. 2 sandwiches, 1 chip, one drink. Enjoy your lunch. Let's get up here and talk to them. You'll want jobs. Come take pictures.